I want to extend a special thank you to the Orange County Sheriff's Office and Daytona Police Department, as well as the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. George Anthony went missing sometime this afternoon. Nobody could contact him. John Allen of the Orange County Sheriff's Office was called about 20 to 11 this evening. Normally a missing persons report needs to be filed the next day. The Orange County Sheriff's Office came out immediately. They located George Anthony in Volusia County using GPS and his telephone. George is okay, thank God. Had it not been for a cooperative effort between Orange County and Volusia County, I don't know what the outcome would have been. George is now safe, and we'll be looking forward to seeing him in the morning.
How's Cindy holding up?
I think I've said this a lot of times, as well as can be expected, but she's good. George is safe, and he's with us, and so it's all good.
What we're hearing things that he may have been leaving behind notes, that he may have been threatening to harm himself.
George has been through a lot. The entire Anthony family has been through a lot, and George is okay.
What time did the family first start to realize that there may be some concern?
We were supposed to meet about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and about dinner time, when George didn't get back to us, we started getting concerned.
He was supposed to come to your office?
We were supposed to meet here.
Did anybody have any indication at that time that something was amiss, other than his absence?
No.
Brad, is there any reason to believe that George would... I know this man has been through a lot in the past few months. How is his mental capacity right now? Has he talked about hurting himself before?
No, George, when they arrived on the scene, George was talking to them and was fine. We're having him checked out to be sure. But as I said earlier, he is fine. He's okay.
And tell us again how Cindy is doing. Obviously, the past few hours, wondering where her husband is, it's been a tough time for her.
Right now, she's relieved, and she's thankful. She's thankful to the Orange County Sheriff's Office and Volusia Law Enforcement.
To quickly try to dispel any speculation or rumors that are going to be coming of this news, I know from the beginning you have talked about how you were seeking immunity for George and Cindy, but just to make clear, to our understanding, law enforcement has never directly indicated to you that there was any suspicion with George. This was something you were doing on your own, if we could just make that clear.
Absolutely not. I'm doing my job as a lawyer. The Anthonys have never requested immunity. That word is not a part of their vocabulary, but that's part of my vocabulary, and that's my job as a lawyer. So, no, absolutely not.
And no one from law enforcement has ever indicated that George Anthony was involved with any type of wrongdoing or misleading or anything. This was a precaution you were taking on your own.
Quite the contrary. The Sheriff's Department, as well as the State Attorney's Office, have assured me from the day I entered this case that they were not the subject of prosecution. Charges had not been filed. Charges were not in the pipeline. And nothing has changed since then.
But as anyone watching this from a distance could understand the pressure that this family is under, or could not understand, having not been in this home, of not just losing their daughter, but also everything else that's been involved in this.
Well, there are a lot of compassionate people that do, but there are a lot of ignorant people that don't. And that's why the Anthonys have been the subject of maligned criticism. And that's what has made this that much harder for them.
Right after the months of what the Anthonys have been through, why would George leave Cindy, leave Lee, put them through this?
George isn't gone. George is here, and he hasn't left them.
We just don't know why he would leave and not stay where he is.
Well, certainly the strain. I mean, we've all had times when we just need to get away.
Do you know if Cindy's going to be heading to the hospital to check him out?
Of course.
Do you know off the top of your head whether he had ever previously had any business in Daytona Beach, or the fact that he showed up there, is that a surprise?
I don't know the answer to that. I know that there was a fundraiser for Kaylee at one point in Daytona Beach. But other than that, there's no connection that I'm aware of.
How could you describe what it was like, and if you don't mind, of when you received the news that he had been located?
That he'd been located, the relief all the way around. All the way, from the law enforcement officers to everybody that cares about this family.
I would assume one of the detectives received a call, passed it on to you?
Yes, immediately.
Did George know that officers have been looking for him?
I don't know the answer to that, Kenneth. I don't know.
I take it George has not been able to speak to his family since he's been located.
No, we have not spoken to George yet.
What's next for this family now?
Day by day. What's next is what's been next for the last month, is burying this little girl, giving her dignity and respect, and George is going to be a part of that.
I know you represent the Anthony family, but do you know whether Casey has been made aware of this development?
I would say not. That's a guess, but I would say not.
You talked about a funeral. Any word yet on